It began with what seemed like a simple case, a security deposit and a few pieces of missing furniture. But as Judge Judy soon found out, this wasn't just about money or tables. It was about pride, chaos, and a friendship that turned into a nightmare. Rebecca Seidel, a young mother of 3, stood before the bench, her voice trembling with frustration. She had only lived with the defendants, Mr. and Mrs. Harris, a couple she met online, for 4 weeks. But those 4 weeks were enough to unravel everything she thought she could trust in people. Judge Judy, sharp-eyed and impatient with drama, leaned forward. "Ms. Seidel, you're asking for the return of your security deposit and furniture that you claim they still have. They say you moved in with garbage bags full of clothes and no furniture at all. So which is it?" Rebecca swallowed hard. "I had furniture, Your Honor. A queen bed, my son's twin bed, a full-size bed, a crib, a playpen, dishes, a kitchen table." Her words spilled out quickly, desperate to sound believable. Judge Judy's voice cut through her explanation like a blade. "And who moved the property in from your mother's house?" "My husband and my brother, Your Honor." "You moved in on May 8th? "Yes." For a moment, Rebecca thought she was winning. But Judge Judy wasn't impressed yet. She flipped through the papers Rebecca handed her, a supposed lease agreement. Her brow furrowed. "This is unsigned. Who prepared it?" Rebecca hesitated. "She gave it to me." The defendant, Amanda Harris, scoffed. "That's not true, Your Honor. We never had a written lease. Just a Facebook conversation." "I said I had a room for rent. That's it." Judge Judy turned her gaze back to Rebecca. "Then show me your bank records. If you paid a security deposit, where did the money come from?" Rebecca fidgeted, eyes darting to the floor. "I have a check for rent, but the security deposit was cash." Judy's tone was cool and direct. "And do you have proof?" "No, Your Honor." "Then you have no case for the deposit." The courtroom went quiet. Then Judge Judy continued, "You're also claiming $100 for utilities." "Yes, because she denied me utilities." Judy waved a hand dismissively. "No, forget it." As the tension thickened, the subject changed to furniture. Rebecca's voice rose. "They still have my kitchen table, my beds." Judge Judy interrupted. "It's clear from your own messages that you asked to use her furniture. A dresser, a bed, and something about a kitchen table, yes?" Rebecca's face flushed. "She offered the table. I told her I'd use it." Amanda shook her head. "It was my sister's table, Your Honor." Judge Judy sighed deeply. "I don't care whose table it was. What I care about is whose house it was in." Rebecca nodded stubbornly. "Mine. Fine," Judy said sharply. "So things didn't work out. You moved in, there was a fight, and you accused them of selling drugs out of their garage." The audience gasped. Rebecca straightened her shoulders. "I called the police, Your Honor. I have proof." Judge Judy didn't blink. "I don't care. I wouldn't live anywhere someone was selling drugs. Why didn't you move out?" "I gave her all my money. I didn't have anywhere else to go." It all sounded too chaotic. The police, the kids, the noise. And then the boiling point, the night the locks were changed. Amanda took a deep breath and explained, "They kept us up all night. Their kids were screaming, their baby crying. Her husband threatened to kill us. We were scared, so we changed the locks." Judge Judy's hand came down sharply. "You can't do that. It's illegal to change locks on tenants." Amanda stammered. "We only changed the top lock, Your Honor. The police made us let them back in. They told us if we called again, everyone, including the kids, Wenny would be arrested. So we just left." For a moment, the courtroom was dead silent. Judge Judy turned back to Rebecca. "So you stayed in the house for 11 more days while they were gone?" "Yes, Your Honor." "What were you sleeping on?" "The mattresses the police made them bring back." "And eating on?" Rebecca's lips twitched. "We went to the dollar store for dishes." Amanda laughed bitterly. "They ate on the floor, Your Honor. The place smelled like dirty diapers. We couldn't even eat in our own kitchen." "Sit down," Judy snapped. "I'm trying to make sense of this circus." Both women sat, breathing heavily, glaring at each other. Judy took a long pause. "Here's what I think. Somewhere between these two stories, There's a small sliver of truth. Rebecca's hope flickered. Maybe she'd still get justice. Now, Judy said, do you still have any of her property? Amanda nodded slowly. Just some junk left behind, a couple of thrift store TVs, some clothes, shoes, and a bag of garbage. It's all in the garage. What about the kitchen table? Judy pressed. Amanda sighed. It's still there too. Judy raised an eyebrow. So you have a kitchen table, 2 TVs, and a garbage bag of clothing in your garage? Yes, but they abandoned it. Perfect, said Judge Judy coldly. You have 5 days to return her property. Do it with a police officer present. And after that, you're done. Goodbye. Rebecca opened her mouth to protest, but Judy's hand went up like a traffic light. That's it. I've heard enough. Go find another place to live, but Your Honor, goodbye. Bird's voice boomed across the studio. Parties are excused. You may step out. But the drama didn't stop at the courtroom door. Outside, both women hurled words like knives. She was doing drugs while her kids were awake. Amanda shouted, I never did drugs. Rebecca snapped back. She's evil. She locked my kids in a room. Amanda scoffed. You never cleaned. Your dishes were disgusting. The place smelled awful. The producers finally pulled them apart. As the cameras faded out, Judge Judy was already reviewing her notes for the next case. But for a moment she paused. These stories always had one thing in common. People who wanted fairness but refused to take responsibility. Expanded reflection. The story behind the story. That night, Rebecca Seidel sat in the small apartment she'd rented after the case. It was half empty. Just a mattress, a lamp, and her children's laughter echoing through the bare walls. She thought about everything she'd said in court. Every word had felt true at the time. But now, sitting in silence, she wondered if maybe Judge Judy had been right. Maybe the truth really was somewhere in the middle. She hadn't meant for things to get so bad. When she moved into the Harris's house, it felt like a lifeline. A fresh start after her mother's home went on sale. But quickly, that lifeline became a trap. The constant noise, the fights, the misunderstandings. It all piled up like dust in corners no one ever cleaned. She remembered her kids crying that last night as police lights flashed through the windows. Across town, Amanda Harris wasn't sleeping either. She sat in her kitchen, now quiet and empty, staring at the table that had caused so much trouble. She replayed the chaos in her mind, the yelling, the cops, the smell of baby powder and stress. Maybe Rebecca wasn't evil. Maybe she was just drowning. But Amanda was too proud to say it out loud. Weeks passed. The police escorted Rebecca to the garage. Her furniture, if you could still call it that, was there. 2 battered TVs, a kitchen table scratched from the move, a garbage bag of clothes that still smelled faintly of baby lotion. She didn't take all of it. Just the table. It's not worth it, she whispered to herself. As she turned to leave, she caught a glimpse of Amanda in the window. Arms crossed, tired eyes watching. Their eyes met for a moment, and something unspoken passed between them. Not forgiveness, not anger, just a quiet understanding of how far both had fallen in trying to survive. Life moved on, but both women carried the memory of that 4-week storm, and the voice of Judge Judy echoing in their minds. Somewhere in the middle of these stories, there's truth. Lesson for listeners and viewers. In every conflict, there are 3 versions of the story: yours, theirs, and the truth. Pride, fear, and desperation can twist even the smallest disagreement into chaos. We often seek justice but forget honesty. Judge Judy's courtroom isn't just about who's right, it's about who takes responsibility. If you want peace, document your promises, respect your space, and never let emotions turn neighbors into enemies. Because at the end of every fight, there's only one thing that really matters: the truth you can live with.